it's me, JC, back with another Ceramic Hour live stream. I'm thinking we'll probably work on these chicken dishes that we have been working on. We also have a cowboy boot over here. I have not looked at these since like Monday when we were working on these. I think this one's kind of like a good, I want them to be like a good amount, like they're not too wet, and like maybe I don't think any of them are too dry, so I think that's what we will work on. We have like 5 chickens and 1 cowboy boot. Of course, off to the side here we have turtles and the turtle shells. I have not done like any of the ceramics outside of the stream for a little bit now. I don't know, just kind of taking like a bit of a break. Let me see. I'm gonna like move some stuff around. I think we'll start on the back and just kind of carve a little bit down into this. Yeah. Well, my partner Jason has been like, you know, like we should like find, you know, like a video game like we can play together and stuff. So we were playing some Rocket League. Like I think that was like over the weekend. We were playing some Rocket League. Just like seeing like how that went. He's like really good at it for like never playing it before. Suspicious quotations. And then that just kind of like got me like thinking about like the PlayStation games I have and stuff, and I was checking out like what they have. If you get like PlayStation Plus, which is the only way you can play online, you get like free games like every month. Like certain games like are just free. So I was like checking it out. I was just kind of seeing what was on there, see if there's anything else like that we could play online. And I saw I don't even know what it's called. It's like the new like Harry Potter game. What is it called? Something about like legendary wizards. That's not what it's called. Oh my gosh, I literally just got this game. I had no idea what it's called. But it's like the new Harry Potter game. So I've been playing that, like, when did I get it? It just started working yesterday, and then, no, it was the day before that, and then I was playing it yesterday too. So, I don't know, I just kind of taking a little bit of a break from doing ceramics, and like business stuff. It's actually pretty rare for me to like not work on like any of my business stuff. Like I'm always working on it. Of course, other than just like usually on weekends we go out and I don't know, go shopping or something. We'll like leave the house and like go do something fun. But I definitely like generally spend a lot of time working on my business. So this has been like, it's been like a nice little break. I really need to get working on these turtles though. These turtles have been sitting here for like, I don't even know how long. But I don't know, it's kind of whatever, because it's always nice to kind of just like fit in a little bit of a break too. Let me see, should I use this tool for this little spot over here? I want to try to be a little bit careful because like Normally I carve out the back side first, like the majority of it first, and then we move on to the front, but yeah, we did kind of both. So I want to be a little bit careful as I'm working here. Just gonna make sure that the sides kind of stay flat. Let's see. So let me just kind of like look at the schedule. So tomorrow I will be canceling the stream, so that is August 1st. But then I'll be back with the stream on Friday for you guys. We'll probably be working on these chickens. I don't know. I don't know. I think we'll just see. Maybe I'll finish the chickens tonight, or maybe the next day. I took Thursday. I have a half day on Thursday, so I'm going to be productive, get some business stuff done. Just, I don't know. I don't know. I just have like a bunch of things that like, I don't know, just like on my to-do list. I have a bunch of things on my to-do list. The Etsy Design Awards will be closing next week, actually, August 8th. So I kind of want to like, I still need to figure out what I want to submit. And then they kind of like recommend like, oh, you just kind of like make sure you know, look at all your stuff, make sure like, you know, if like, you know, you're kind of like chosen for something, like maybe like a finalist, or of course, like, if you're chosen for like the winner of a category or the grand prize and stuff, like any of those, like people will be coming to your shop. So you want to make sure like not just for the item that you submitted, but you want to have like all the details of like all of your items, you know, with the correct info, like just kind of, you know, just kind of like cleaning up shop, making sure everything looks good. Because if you got like selected for like any of those, like they're probably going to be bringing like, I don't know, a bunch of people to your shop. I don't like, probably, like probably more than what you would normally get, I suppose. So you just want to make sure that all of those details and whatever are looking accurate and good. Actually, I don't think I mentioned it. I meant to mention it, but I think I forgot. I actually got an email from Etsy. And like, you know, you get an email from Etsy because it'll have like a little banner next to it, like a little orange banner, and it says like, I don't know what it says. It says like Etsy staff or something like that. And somebody actually like reached out to me, and they like, okay, so my shop, I used to sell a variety of things. Now I'm focusing on ceramics, but I still have a few of those other things in my shop. Just because like the listing hasn't expired. You know, like I paid money to put that listing up, you know, and the listing hasn't expired. So like I have them in like a miscellaneous category on there. And they reached out to me and they said, we love this like shark sticker that you have in your shop. And we think it would be great for the Etsy Design Awards. And I'm just like, man, of all the things that I make in my shop, that's the one thing that stood out to you were the stickers? I'm just like over here like, what? Like, seriously? I'm so confused. Like, I don't really see like why they're that cool. Like, in terms of cool, I feel like, the stuff like this, like, I have like, those handmade ceramic bunny dishes, that are like not like super intricately decorated, but they're, like somewhat intricate in, I don't know, in some instance. And I'm like, you really like the shark stickers, like, over the other stuff? Did you look at the other stuff? Like, did you look at the other stuff? They said they looked at the other stuff. They're like, it's probably just like, they probably just like randomly found the shark stickers and then maybe just assume that the shop had more stickers in it. I don't know. Because I feel like it didn't really sound like they looked at the rest of the things I have. But they're like, of all the things in your shop, we really like this and we think it would do great in the Etsy Design Awards. And I was like, I'm still like not sure what to do about it, because I mean, like, they specifically like emailed me about it, like saying that they really liked it. I mean, for one thing, like, I have no idea why they like it so much. Like, why they like it that much. Like, I don't know. It's just a sticker. Like, who is submitting a sticker to the Etsy Design Awards and then winning with it? Like, I mean, not that I have like a complete list of all of the things that have won for the awards, but like, I feel like a sticker is not one of those, like, it's not a category winner or a finalist. I don't know. I have a really hard time picturing a sticker being even a finalist. Like, it's a sticker. Unless it was like some kind of, there's like more to it, some kind of like social impact thing, or I don't know. Like, I don't get it. And I'm just like, it's really throwing me off, because I'm like, I don't know, should I submit the sticker? You can only submit one item from your shop. So like, you can't submit different items to different categories. You can, from your one shop, you can only submit one thing. So I'm like, man, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like I'm not going to go with it, because I don't know, it just seems so weird. Like, why? Why the sticker? I wish they would have said like why. They really didn't. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing, so like, there's no social impact behind it. I could maybe see something like, I don't know, some kind of like LGBTQ kind of thing, like, oh, I don't know, like the ones that have like pronouns and stuff. I don't know, some kind of something that has like a social impact or something. But the stickers that I have on my shop, it's just it's a shark. I do offer a variety of them. It's the same like design, except the shark is saying like different things. He's kind of like, the idea is that he's like popping out of the water to like sailors and stuff, and he's like, I think sharks are known to like live solitary lives, so he's kind of bored. He's like all alone out there in the oceans, and he just kind of pops out of the water and he's like, hey, how's it going? Or he's like, hello. Or like, I don't know, I have a bunch of sayings for it. Like, sometimes he's like offended. He's like, dude. Or he's like trying to get your attention. He's like, bro. Or like, I don't know. That's the more I talk about it, the more dumb it sounds. But he's just kind of bored, and he's just kind of he's just trying to get some attention from like sailors. And like that's the idea, is that like this sticker comes in like different like phrases. I don't really see like exactly what is like, I mean, it's like, it's fun, but there's nothing like award winning, like I don't know, I feel like award winning things are like, I don't know, somewhat more revolutionary, or I don't know, like I don't know, something that is not a sticker. I don't know. So I'm just kind of, maybe this, I don't know. I was thinking about submitting either one of the bunnies or a turtle container. That's what I was thinking about submitting. And now I don't know. I mean, I'm considering it, but I'm just like, I don't even sell stickers anymore, really. Like, I'm just trying to get rid of like my inventory that I, built up over a number of years, and I just kind of, I just want to sell the stuff, get my money back from, paying to have them made and all that, and just, continue with the ceramics. It's kind of like, it's kind of weird because if I did like submit the shark stickers, like, and if they did anything, they got like, they placed as a finalist, or which I don't really feel like would happen. I don't really feel like it would happen. I don't know. I'm so confused about the whole thing. But like if they did, and then, I got a bunch of traffic to my shop, and then people are like, oh, I thought this was like a sticker shop. Like, I thought they made stickers here. There's like literally one sticker that you can buy, and the rest are ceramics for some reason. Like, it would be really weird. And I just kind of feel like that sounds like a bad idea. I think some people would maybe say like, oh, well, like, that traffic would be better than like no traffic. Yes, but you want to try to optimize, like you want to have like a marketing strategy. It's all kind of like it all kind of goes into like a marketing thing. Like, you don't want random people coming to your shop. You want people that you think are interested in buying your stuff to come to your shop, right? Like, it's all the same thing, because it doesn't matter if you have like random people. If they're all completely random and they don't like, they're nothing close to what your target market is looking for, they're not like that person, then like it doesn't matter that they came to your shop, they probably aren't going to buy from you. So we kind of want to like maximize this opportunity, most likely, by like, I don't know, like submitting something that I currently make. Like, I don't know, like whatever, the bunny plate or the turtle dish, like, I do get a lot of great feedback for the turtles. A lot of people really like them. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. But I would love it to get like some like PR on the bunnies though, because like I would love that. I would love it if the bunnies became like this huge hit and like I don't know, like blogs were like showing off the bunnies, and like bunny owners, you know, came to my shop looking for, you know, bunny dishes and stuff like that. I would love that, you know? Like, because I especially love bunnies. I mean, I love like a lot of animals just in general, but there's like a special place in my heart for you know, from owning bunnies, just growing up with them like my entire life. And like I don't know, there's just something different. There's just something special about how I feel about like the bunny dishes. I can't quite put my finger on it. I guess it's just as simple as like I love bunnies, and like I think that'd be so cool to like connect with more people that like, I don't know, like maybe they just love bunnies, maybe they have a bunny or something. I don't know, like I think that would be so cool. So like I really want to get like more eyes on the bunny dishes, but I don't know. So many people really like the turtles too. The thing is, the bunny dishes would be a lot quicker for me to make. If say I had, you know, if this went somewhere and then like, I don't know, I collected like a bunch of pre-orders or something. You know, it's so much faster to make more bunny dishes than it would be for me to make more turtle dishes. The turtles are so much more complex in terms of like how I'm making them. And like kind of like there's more decision making in them when I'm trying to carve out the shape. Something like, you know, the chicken, the bunny, I just have that template, and then it's just like there's really not much thought at all that needs to go into, you know, into it. Maybe like how tall is the dish? Like, is the dish a little bit too tall? But otherwise, there's not really much else there for me to have to kind of like think about as I'm doing it. With the turtles, I'm just kind of, I have that very rough template, but to kind of like carve, you know, this more like 3D object from my 2D template, it's like, the template only takes it so far. So I'm kind of like, I don't know. Gosh. If you guys have any like thoughts, like on what I should submit, sorry. Let me know in the chat or comments wherever you're watching this. This will be uploaded to YouTube later. I'm literally like so torn. I'm like, also it doesn't help because I'm really bad at making like big decisions. So, cause I'm like, I don't want to regret it, but I mean, I feel like I'm probably not going to get anywhere with it. Like, I have such a big head. I'm like, what if I become one of the finalists? I'm like, that's probably in either of those like scenarios of why I submit, it's probably not going to like do that. I'm probably not going to be like some finalist or something. I have such a big head though. Like, I mean, like, obviously I hope it goes somewhere, but I mean, reality, probably not. Cause there's so many things that, you know, people make on Etsy and stuff. And like, even if there was a category for just ceramics, like there's so many people with Etsy shops, like making really cool things. Like, you know, like, even if that was a thing, I think it would be hard to, like, I don't know, like, stand out and stuff. But, like, there isn't a category for ceramics. Like, I would, if I entered any of these things, like, it has to go in some, like, giant category. Like, I don't know what the categories are. I know there's definitely one for art. And it's like, can you imagine? Like, what is it? Like, I don't know, like 70% of stuff on Etsy is probably art. Like, can you imagine the competition? Like, you know, it's just gonna be crazy. Or I don't know, there's one, it's something about kind of like home and living or something. I don't know if the home one, I think it probably ties into like kitchen or something too. I don't know. There were a couple of things that that I felt like could apply. Like I could put my stuff into. So I'm just like, I have no idea. I'm so indecisive. Okay, I think this is pretty good, and I think we can move on to, like, carving out the front. We really don't need to do too much. I mean, it's a little bit wobbly. Let me see. I think I'll grab my other tool. I don't know. I think we might have carved maybe a little bit too much out of the back. But I think we can get this like a good amount thinner. I don't know. I'm way too competitive. That's kind of like one of my like personality traits. What's that called? It's wait, just give me a second. I'm really blanking on it. Nope, I don't think I've got it. There's oh, Clifton Strengths, yeah. So when I worked at this other place, they paid for us to take our Clifton Strengths test, and it tells you like, I don't know, it tells you like top, like, I don't know, like 20 or something, maybe it's like 25 of your like personality strengths, and this is so much better than I don't even know what they're called, those things where people will say they're like, I don't know, an INFJ or whatever. You know, like it has like those 4 like category names, and then you have like a different assortment of combinations of those categories for like your personality. Those are not very accurate, like at all. But the Clifton Strengths tells you, it's not really like, it's not telling you stuff like, oh, are you an introvert or are you an extrovert? Like, that's not really a thing because people can be both. I'm one of those people. I can be both an introvert and an extrovert. It just depends on like the situation and stuff. So it's not like that, like subjective things, or I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say like subjective. But they're more like, it gives you like more solid kinds of like feedback to just kind of you as a person. And it tells you kind of like what you seem to like excel at. I think you have to like pay extra to see like what your worst traits are. But it's definitely like the top 5 that you really need to pay attention to. And it's really changed the way that I think about myself as a professional in any, in any position. Like, I don't know if I can think of all of mine off the top of my head. I've got futuristic. So I'm always kind of like, I'm always very excited for like what's to come in the future. Like, just, I mean, and that's not like some huge like, oh, like in 200 years we're gonna be doing this. I mean, it's not really about that. It's about like seeing yourself in the future, seeing like other, like getting excited about things that are to come. And I've always been that kind of person. Like, I remember being in high school and just being like, oh, I wish I was in college now. Like, I wish I could be learning about like the subjects I'm actually interested in. And like, I don't know, I'm always thinking about like the future. Like when I named my first business, like I thought about like how funny it would sound like as like a big business and like someone that's like at reception or whatever answers the phone, and like I don't know, I'm just I think I'm more of like a big picture person maybe. So that's like futuristic. I'm very competitive, which I don't know if that exactly, I don't know if it says much about like, like as someone like in a work environment. Definitely like certain points, like, if we have like a competition or something at work, like, I'm a bit competitive when it comes to that. Like I want to get like the best score or whatever. Like if there's some kind of like, I don't know, if there's like some kind of thing like that. If we're like competing against each other, like I would want to, be one of the high ranking people. I don't know. That's just how I am. And, what else? I'm very, I'm a problem solver. That's one of my biggest things that has really like kind of like enlightened me about like the way that I work and stuff. And not everybody is a problem solver. It's definitely something that can be acquired, but I don't know. I suppose like, I don't know, maybe it just comes to me like naturally. I don't know. But it's just kind of like something that I'm always thinking of. I'm always thinking, or like, I'm always like reporting things like, hey, like I see we're having a lot of issues here. Like, like what can we do for the team about this? Like, how can we cut down on those issues? And where is that, like, where's the root cause to this? And then fixing the root cause, and then making, not just my life better, but like also like it extends to my teammates, possibly in some ways the leadership team, and the customers that we work with. I think a lot of them just come from being a personal issue, but then like if we fix it, it's fixing it for a lot of people, not just me. So I'm such a problem solver. And then there's also like, I think the other one is achiever. I'm definitely somebody that is always setting goals, and making sure that I reach those goals. Like, I don't know, like I always have like a 5-year plan kind of like written out. It kind of goes with like futuristic. but like I'm always like ready. Like we're kind of talking about, like, at my workplace, we're talking about like kind of like career development type things, and I don't really know where I want to go with it at my workplace. But instead of not doing anything, which is like just maybe like the default like thing that people might do, just not even really thinking about it, instead of the default, what I've decided to do is rein in anything that I can do to learn about leadership, and just all of those kind of soft skills. So like it doesn't matter like what position I'm going to be in, like, you know, like building up your soft skills with like communication, learning how to, you know, like manage like multiple people, like, I don't know, like managing a team and stuff. It doesn't matter what position you're in, like those are just, you know, really great things to have. So that's kind of like, I don't know, that's like, I don't know, they're all just like me. Like that's just who I am. I'm like, I don't like the fact that I don't have a plan. I've been way too busy to think much about it. But like, even though I don't have like a career plan, I have a plan for like how I can, like what skills I can develop at the moment, like while I get that plan together. If that makes sense. I think that makes sense. And then what's my other one? I think my other one is like something like being independent, maybe? I think that might be it. It's been a little bit since I looked at them. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And being independent is just kind of like like I definitely do prefer to just be given like my tasks and then, you know, just go off and do them. Like, oh gosh, it can be like a little bit difficult for me to it sounds really weird, or like sounds really bad. But I'll give an example. I don't really like, I'm the kind of person that is always worried about like bothering other people. And I'm just like, I don't want to have to follow up about these things. Like, and my current role right now doesn't have any deadlines for most things that we do. So it's hard to like know when to follow up if there are no deadlines, because it's like, well, like maybe, you know, whoever is just busy and they'll get to it like later, but then it's later and they haven't gotten to it, but then you're like, oh, well, maybe it's just like a low priority. And I'm just like, I don't want to bother them or like make it seem like a rush, or I don't know. I'm just that I don't really like having to like, I really don't like following up. I'll just say that I really don't like having to follow up. Or like something that we do that I've done before is, so before we launch stuff on our website, we have kind of like this fake website, and it's launched on the fake website, and then different people from different departments and stuff will go to the fake website and they go and check it out, see if the code has messed with anything, like the new code that was added. See if it like messed with anything. Like maybe it gives you error messages when you add things to your cart. Or maybe it doesn't let you do this one thing that you used to be able to do. So all these different people, go and check it out. And I'll get a task and I'll be like, this is broken. And then there's like, there's like no response. And I'm like, do you guys need like more time? Like, I'm just like, do you need like more time to fix it? Like, has this been fixed? Like, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I don't like those kind of like road blockers, where I kind of like depend on other people to like, I don't know, like maybe they're fixing something, or like, and then it's like, okay, I can't do this other thing because I have to wait for it to be fixed by somebody else. And like, I don't know, like, I think it's that kind of a thing that I'm not really so great at, because I'm just like, I don't know, I feel like there's a word for people that are like me, that are just like, I don't want to feel like I'm bothering you. I don't want to make you feel like you're rushed. You know, like, I'm just like, I'm always a person. I always feel like I'm bothering people. I'm always like saying the wrong things or something, or not follow. I don't know. I'm just like a worrier person. I'm just like always worried. Like, okay, I have to be really careful over here by the beak. I don't know. I just always feel like I'm bothering people, or, like, I don't want to feel like I'm rushing people, but, like, I don't know. Just the whole thing. I kind of, like, would rather be able, like, have the ability to do everything myself. So then there aren't any, like, roadblockers. And there's not, like, there's, like, no miscommunication. Because sometimes, like, I mean, there's also, like, communication is kind of a thing. Like, oh, like, maybe you thought, like, your coworker was going to do this, but then they thought you were going to do it, and then nobody did it because you just kind of, like, thought one of you was going to do it, and, like, I don't know. Yeah, like, I'm trying to, like, I'm working on building up my communication skills just to, like, be very clear with people, double checking, that there isn't miscommunication, or just, you know, like, putting in extra effort to, like, I think I spend probably too much time reviewing my Slack messages, like, trying to write it in a way that is, like, friendly, and I'm like, I don't want to sound like I'm rushing you. I don't want to sound like, I don't know, like I'm hopefully not, like, bothering you, like, hopefully just very neutral. Like, and, like, Slack, especially if you don't work with people directly, sometimes it can, like, kind of sound different than, like, if you said it in person, or, like, you know, if you don't know this person at all, and then, you know, you send them just a very, like, harmless message, sometimes, like, they could take it a different way. So I try to, like, try to be careful about, like, how I'm saying things so that nothing is confusing, and just, making sure that, like, everything is clear and it sounds friendly, and, you know, it's not coming off like any other way than that. Like that can't be interpreted a different way, if that maybe makes sense. Like, you know, like if you put a smiley face in there, like unless they just really like unless they know you don't like them and it's like kind of like a sassy like, oh, you know, and then there's like a smiley face, you know, like then you could probably take it like in a bad way, but most likely you're probably not going to, right? Like I don't even know how we got on this topic. I don't know. How did we get on this topic? I completely have trailed off. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. Well, those are like my Clifton strengths. Those are my top 5. Did I name 5? Competitive, achiever, futuristic. It was kind of like strategic or like problem solving. I don't know if it was kind of like both. I think like strategic kind of like went in with problem solving, but I am very strategic. I think in a lot of ways I try to be to like stand out, like I don't know. I mean, one thing for sure. I've told you guys how I like to keep tabs. This sounds weird. It sounds like some kind of like, like, I don't know. Was that like a PI thing or something? It's kind of like investigator. I like to keep tabs on my local ceramic competition. No, but I do though. I think it's really good to, I think, at least be aware of the competition that you have locally. So like that way you can like differentiate your stuff from other local sellers. So I frequent a lot of the handmade craft markets. I mean, I do personally just love like going out, checking out, seeing if anybody new pops up, seeing what people have. I definitely still do buy ceramics, even though I make my own. But I think it's really good to like know what is in your local community, because like I don't know, I think it can be like really good to like stand out. I think although like selling online is really great, I don't know, I just kind of get the feeling that it's really good to have like a like a support base, like supporters and stuff that like your work that are local. I mean, I don't know if you would say that like local people would buy, I don't know if you could like say that local people would buy your stuff more frequently or something. I don't know. Versus like everywhere else. I mean, probably the fact that like if you're like offering things globally, I mean, I don't know, that's kind of hard to beat. I just kind of feel like there's something really good about like having a local following. All the locals know you're gonna show up at these different craft events and they're gonna go and like support you and stuff. Like, I don't know, I just feel like there's something really great about that. I have no idea like how that would really compare. I don't know, I just kind of feel like it sounds like a really great thing to like have local supporters. But it's really great to like know what is out there, what's in the community. right now, because then you can like differentiate yourself. Like, I kind of like, I kind of get the sense that it feels like the majority of people that sell ceramics here, it seems like a majority of them are just like just doing like glaze combinations and stuff. It does kind of seem like a lot of things that people sell. I mean, I don't know, maybe this is just general for the whole ceramic community. I don't know. It feels like a lot are just, making really basic things, making mugs and bowls and plates maybe. Just very quick, easy things to do. And then just doing like a glaze combination or just a very basic glaze application to decorate it, but like not much else. I can't say that there aren't people in the area that aren't doing things like me. Like there are good a few people that are doing things in underglaze that is like pretty, it's a lot more similar in like kind of like visually and in the way that the stuff is decorated. But I feel like the majority is like just glazed, like basic things that are just glazed. So, like, although I love playing with glaze and like seeing what different combinations do. Like, I have this like very unhealthy obsession with going to Georgie's and buying new glazes that they have on the shelves. I have way too many. But it just makes me so excited. And I'm like, heck yeah, more glaze. And it's like so many, like, I have so many like possible combinations. I don't, there's so many that I don't have any like test house for. I'm very overwhelmed. I love doing that. It's so fun. But like I've kind of pushed myself to be doing both, like underglaze things and also just kind of like, more that kind of like more basic plain glaze stuff, because like just kind of like looking from a strategic standpoint, like not a lot of people in town are doing what I'm doing. There's, I would say really, there's like two other people or like two other small, ceramic businesses that are doing kind of like, if you were to describe them as like whimsical underglazed pieces. I really have like these two main ones that come to mind. But not many other than that. So like, I think like strategically, like my stuff can really stand out when I go sell my pieces at places, because like people don't expect to see what I'm selling, and they get like, oh my gosh, I love doing markets. If I didn't lose money on them, the last one I did, I lost money. The other one was fine. But if I didn't lose money on doing markets, like I would definitely be doing them like so much more. Like I guess what I'm saying, like if they weren't so expensive or something, I don't know. It's so fun because to like see the people's reactions to the stuff that I make, because they're not expecting it. And at like the few times that I've done our Saturday market here, like nobody has done underglazed work. Like the people that typically have ceramics at the Saturday market they're just like quick buys. That quick buy. You're like, oh yeah, I love mugs. I love buying handmade mugs. Let me just go buy one of these. Those like, it's what people expect to see there. And that's what people offer, because like, I don't know, they offer them for like very cheap prices. Whereas like, of course, like this underglaze stuff that I'm doing, it's not cheap. It's not just a quick like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like buy that. Like it's not such a easy buy for people, because it is more expensive, and people will be like, oh gosh, I don't know if I want to spend this much on it. And they kind of have to like think about it, or, kind of a thing. But at least for like from a strategic standpoint, my stuff does kind of like, it does stand out compared to like the other sellers. Like, I just love it. People aren't expecting it. They're like, walking by. It's usually like groups of people, not just like, someone with their friends. They're just, out checking out the market and stuff. And one of them will like something will catch their eye, and they're like, oh my gosh, look at this. And then they like run into the booth, and they're like, look at this. And it's like, it's so like, I love that. Obviously you don't get that from online sales. Unless you're like, people are reacting to your Instagram or something. But even then it's just not quite the same. And it's like, it's so fun. And it's so like, I love the fact that I'm kind of like maybe sort of changing people's ideas of like what ceramics is. Like, if you're not like an artist, you're not in the ceramic world, like probably the majority of like what you know about ceramics is just from what you see at the store, most likely, or some like ceramic markets. But then a lot of the people that sell at markets are just selling the stuff that you see at the store. Like, does that make sense? They're not selling weird shaped things generally. This one person that is, actually, I just bought from her. She has this like, she does ceramics. It's a crayon box, and she makes like little ceramic crayons to go in it. Like, people don't think of that when they think about ceramics. People think about like a bowl or a mug when they think about ceramics. But like, I love the fact that like, they were kind of like, I don't know, like introducing like different things to people that like otherwise wouldn't really know like what's out there. Like they don't know these kind of things. They don't know like, I don't know, but like inlay techniques, or like I do think it's really cool when people like add like a colorant into their clay, and then they don't fully mix it, and then it gets like this really beautiful swirl in there, stuff like that. Like like people that don't really, they don't shop ceramics typically, and they don't make it, like they don't know what's out there. Like they mostly just know about like what they see like typically at the store. So it's like, I don't know, it's so fun and so cool. I also have no idea how we got on this topic. I have no idea. But yeah, I have no idea. I feel like I need to like backtrack to like say something, but I have no idea like what got us here. Yeah, but I love selling at the markets. And I mean, it's definitely a lot of work. for, you know, if you've never like done a market before, it's so much work. It's like, you know, it's like a whole day. It's like you have to be like on the top of your game, you know. You have to be ready to answer like any question people ask. And sometimes they come up with stuff out of the blue and you're like, how can I answer this to somebody that doesn't like know like a ton about ceramics? Like, you know, like explain it in a way like a lay person would know. Like, you know, like all kinds of things. You have to be on the top of your game. You have to be ready. And like usually markets are like a couple hours long. So it's just like, it's a lot. Just mentally, physically, but oh gosh, it's so fun. It's so fun to like hear people say things about your work. I've definitely had times where people have said rude things about my work at markets. But the more recent ones I've done, I haven't gotten any, I haven't gotten any complaints from people. Yeah, I don't know. Like when I would sell my paintings, people would be like, "Oh, I could do that." And I don't know, like it really isn't like that big of a deal or anything. But it's like, it's not nice though. When you just like mutter that to your friend as you're like walking by, like it's rude. Like you shouldn't say things that that the vendor can hear you say. Like, I mean, I don't know, wait till like later if you are going to like talk about it. I don't know, because like things like that have just like, they've stuck with me. At least in ceramics. A lot of people like don't think they could do ceramics. So like I have not gotten that. I've never gotten someone that comes to my booth and is like, "Oh, I could do that." So I don't know. I guess that's like kind of an upside to doing this. I don't get those comments anymore. Yeah, I don't know how we got to this topic. Yeah, here's our little chicken. We've got a lot. This is like pretty much done. I definitely want to like, you can see like all the kind of like scratch marks and stuff. I think I mean, we kind of ran out of time right now, but, I'm gonna come back to this, just touch it up at some point. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. But yeah, that's our stream for today. Sorry if you don't like random non-ceramic related things. But I don't know. I hope, I don't know, maybe you learned something? I don't know. Let me just kind of water all of them down, maybe. They have been sitting here for like a little bit. Okay. Without being worked on. No! What are you doing? My cat is like getting into things. She always does that when I'm on the stream. She like knows when I sit here and I talk to myself. That is the time to like cause mischief. Okay. Thank you so much for anybody that has joined the stream or watched from wherever. If you're watching on Twitch, be sure to follow along so you know when I come on for videos. Again, tomorrow, August 1st, that video is going to be canceled, but I'll be back on Friday, August 2nd. All the videos are uploaded to YouTube into my live stream playlist. We have like, I think there's like 190 something on there. So there's plenty if you want to go check out more of my videos. We touch on like all kinds of like talking points in the live stream. I try to keep it related to ceramics or just kind of what I've been up to, maybe. Yeah, and then there are a few ceramic tutorials, like quick videos on my YouTube. This is at calieandco. I can't remember if I said that. As well as like a few other kind of like small handmade business related topics or just ones for just kind of like any artist. I also, at the bottom of my YouTube, I have artists that I recommend checking out that have YouTube channels. So definitely check those out. They're really great artists and great videos down there. Yeah, well, I think that's it. Well, I'll see you guys on Friday, and I hope you have a great Wednesday. All right, bye.